Shalom friends! This week we're entering Shabbat Emor as we're about to celebrate Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, 1 month after Pesach, a second chance to perform our own freedom. And I believe that this parasha in a way talks about radical freedom, which is the choice to really be who we want to be and to be basically of the Hashem, to serve the divine, to serve life in our everyday life. It really is the deeper meaning of why we came out of Egypt in the first place. This seems quite far away from Parasha Emor, right? Because Parasha Emor, on the pshat level, on the kind of literal level of reading, is occupied with the instructions for the Kohanim, for the caste of priests. So while it seems to exclude most of us who are not Kohanim, the Meorenaim comes and suggests a deeper level of reading beyond the pshat that actually is a very strong call for spiritual agency and responsibility to all of us. So his first commentary on the parasha is on the first verse, and he's pointing to a word repetition. Emor ve'amarta alehem. Speak and you shall speak to them. And so we know in Torah commentaries, a bit like in psychoanalysis, we take words seriously, and it's very rare that any word repetition is a coincidence. And so one way of reading into this, and the Meorenaim is not saying it explicitly, but it's what he's suggesting in his reading, is that maybe the pasuk, the verse, is talking to two levels of Kohanim here. First, we're talking about, the pshat level, the literal level, the Kohen, the priest, the one who was born a priest, that's his status, that's his role, okay. But then there is a deeper level of reading, which is what does it mean symbolically to be a Kohen? And he says a Kohen is an Eved Hashem. The Kohen is the one who serves the divine. And on that level to him, and that's a kind of radical call of spiritual empowerment, which is really part of the Hasidic revolution in the 18th and 19th century. In that level, we're all Kohanim. We're all called to be of the Hashem. And that doesn't erase the differences of statuses and roles we have in everyday life. And I think it's important to remember that, right? Maybe in this life, you're going to be called to be the president, which by the way is called a civil servant, right? Serving. Maybe you're called to be the hairdresser, the dog walker, the teacher, the cook, the chef, the high-tech, the programmer, you name it. Okay, this is the surface role. But on a deeper level, we're all called for one and the same thing, which is to serve life, to serve the divine. And if you're asking me, okay, what is a concrete way? What does it mean? The Meorenaim is actually answering this. He's bringing into the conversation the Pirkei Avot, this wonderful, wonderful Mishnaic tractate, which we read between Pesach and Shavuot, Agav. This pasuk in the Pirkei Avot that says, be like the disciples of Aaron, Ohev Shalom ve'odef Shalom, who loves peace and pursues peace. And that's my invitation to you, is to wonder, actually, to ask yourself, how can I be that today? How can I embody that today? What would it mean very concretely to love peace and pursue peace today? And maybe that means, making a phone call to a close friend or a family member or someone that there was some tension with, or a colleague, and just to make peace. Maybe that means, the next time we have an argument with someone, just, staying silent and wondering if maybe the other is right. So many thousand ways of concretely loving peace and pursuing peace on our level, on the level of our life, each of us. So this was 3 minutes on the parasha. If this spoke to you, feel free to share with your family and friends. I want to wish you a Pesach Sheni Sameach and a Shabbat Shalom.